Kidnapping in Nigeria has become a national nightmare. From school children to commuters, aid workers to villagers, no one is truly safe. In the past year alone, over 2 million people have reportedly been abducted. Today, I deep dive into the kidnapping crisis that has gripped Nigeria over the past decade, its causes, its terrifying scale, and the desperate fight to end it. According to Nigeria's National Bureau of Statistics, over 2.2 million kidnapping incidents have occurred between May 2023 and April 2024 alone. In fact, this is from the Punch Nigeria talking about it. And that's more than 6,000 people abducted every single day. The Northwest region is the epicenter, accounting for over 60% of all cases. But this isn't just a regional issue. From the forests of Zamfara to the highways of Lagos and Port Harcourt, kidnappings now affect all 6 geopolitical zones. The motives vary, but the methods are chillingly similar. Over 90% of kidnappings are ransom related. Gangs armed with AK-47s and grenades attack buses, raid villages, and storm schools. Terrorist groups like Boko Haram and ISWAP use kidnappings to spread fear. In 2014, the world washed in horror as 276 Chibok girls were taken. Years later, more than 90 remain missing, or approximately 90.
10 years on, emotions are still raw in Chibok, in Nigeria's northeastern Borno state. Of the 276 girls taken, 194 are back home. Among them, 57 who escaped their captors in the early days of the kidnapping by Boko Haram fighters. For the parents of the 82 girls who are still missing, the wait continues. On the 10th anniversary of the mass abduction, parents and activists gather to remember what happened and to mount pressure on the government.
We want them to be free from that Sambisa, to be united with us at home, and that's what we want.
After a decade of campaigning,
more recently, mass school adoptions have surged. In Kuriga, Kaduna State, 287 school children were taken in March 2024. It's a trend that's turning education into a battlefield.
In Nigeria, the hunt for nearly 300 school children abducted by gunmen goes on. But the governor of Kaduna State has told the BBC that at least 28 of those children have escaped their captors. The Nigerian army is leading the search for the children who were abducted from the northwest town of Kuriga in Kaduna State. Reports say students between the ages of 8 and 15 were taken, along with a teacher. The abductions have been blamed on Ansaru, a breakaway faction of the militant Islamist group Boko Haram. Victims of kidnappings usually pay a ransom to secure their freedom. A controversial law, though, passed in 2022 made it a crime to make ransom payments with a potential jail sentence of at least 15 years. But many victims feel they have no choice but to pay. Our West Africa correspondent Mayeni Jones updated me on this story from Maiduguri.
Yeah, the military is currently running a rescue operation in Kaduna State, but also in the neighboring states of Katsina and Zamfara, which are all kidnapping hotspots here in northern Nigeria. They're working alongside the police and local vigilante groups. Some of the students' parents have also joined the search. They're going to local communities trying to find out if anybody's seen anything at all.
Nowhere is truly safe in Nigeria. Major highways like Abuja-Kaduna have become death traps. Even train travel isn't spared. Remember the 2022 bombing of the Abuja-Kaduna passenger train? Dozens were killed and abducted.
2022 armed terrorists attacked a passenger train traveling from Abuja to Kaduna. During the attack, several were killed and many kidnapped. Earlier this week, the Nigeria police arrested the suspected mastermind of that tragedy. Tonight, Babajide Ogusol, founder of Leadership by Data and Channels Television's data analyst, is right here to share more insights on this story. Babajide, great to have you again on the news today.
Good evening, Ayatunde.
Yes, indeed. So the mastermind of that train attack on the Abuja-Kaduna highway, his name.
This is another video of the wreckage of one of the coaches of Abuja-Kaduna train after it was attacked.
Kaman gobara fa irin da aka ji ka amma an duba nan ba mutum.
This is another video where terrorists gathered some of the victims of the train attack between Abuja and Kaduna, and I just don't know what they're saying, but let's watch it. Just to inform you, these are some of the victims and they were being filmed by the terrorists, but because the video is very low, I'm not going to play everything. I personally don't even understand what they're saying because the video is very hard to hear. But in riverine regions like the Niger Delta, pirates and militants strike oil workers and cargo crews. Buses, boats, cars, even walking alone all carry risk. Why is this happening, you may say? Well, poverty and unemployment fuel desperation. In the Northwest, 5 of Nigeria's 10 poorest states exist alone. Armed groups recruit idle young men with promises of money and power. Land conflicts also play a major role. Clashes between herders and farmers, like the Fulani herdsmen clash. I covered this in my previous video as well. Feel free to go have a look at it. This has also created lawless zones, especially in the middle belt, and porous borders allow gun and fighters to flow in freely. The government has launched military crackdown, for example, Operation Puff Ada, airstrikes, and police task force. Bandits were even labeled terrorists in 2022, but kidnappings persist.
This is the lead agency in maintaining internal security, and that is why it has launched a special operation codenamed Puff Adder to fight violent crimes in the country. The new security strategy is being replicated across the various zones of the force.
President Tinubu has taken a hard stance, no ransom payments, yet families often raise millions in private negotiations. In some cases, communities are forced to pay security taxes to local gangs. Do you blame them? God forbid, if it was your family member that was being kidnapped and President Tinubu is saying no ransom, what would you do in that circumstance? I'm not trying to say that you should go against the government, but at the same time, I'm trying to say that I understand people who do. Meanwhile, the Safe School Initiative has struggled. Over 1,500 schools have closed due to fears of attacks. In fact, this article says Nigeria, insecurity worsening out of school crisis, 10 million children affected, 1,500 schools destroyed, 600 teachers killed in 4 years. This was from May 20, 2025, which was just last month. International groups are watching, and UNICEF says Nigeria has one of the highest numbers of out-of-school children due to insecurity. Human rights groups say over 260,000 people have been displaced by banditry. Despite millions in foreign aid and training programs, the scale of the crisis remains daunting. The cost is staggering. In just 1 year, Nigerians paid 2.2 million naira in ransom. Entire families are pushed into poverty. Farmers abandon fields. Commerce dries up. And the emotional toll, unimaginable. Trauma, child marriage, lifelong fear, it's tearing communities apart actually.
The National Bureau of Statistics says Nigerians paid more than 2.2 trillion naira in ransom between May 2023 and April 2024. In its latest report, the NBS recorded 51.89 million crime incidents across households, with the Northwest reporting the highest at 14 million cases, while the southeast reported the lowest at 6 million. Rural areas experienced more crimes with 26.5 million cases compared to 25.3 million in urban areas. Among households affected by kidnappings, 65% reportedly paid ransoms with an average payment of 2.67 million naira per case. 4.14 million households also experienced home robberies, but only 36.3% reported incidents to the police, citing distrust in law enforcement. Phone theft emerged as the most common.
This is more than a crime wave. It's a national crisis at this point, robbing Nigeria of its future. Solutions exist, but they need willpower, unity, and actions from all levels. Because until every child can walk to school without fear, Nigeria will remain trapped in the shadows, and that's just facts. If you enjoyed this video or if you have found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and comment your thoughts below, and subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more deep dives into real life stories and social awareness like this. Stay safe and see you in the next video. Bye.